Boom, monkeys, we are live. Welcome back to the Crypto Boogie channel. I'm hoping that you guys are having a great time with your families this Christmas Eve. Tonight is the eve before our Savior was born. Of course, we don't know historically when Jesus was born, but nevertheless, this is what the holidays is about, and that's what we're currently celebrating at the time being. So enjoy your time with your family, cats. We only have them a limited time on this earth. Love them, take care of them, and yeah, dude. That's what I got to say about that. How you cats doing tonight? What are we going to cover tonight? We're definitely going to cover the fragrance of the day. I tried to figure out if I could show you a weapon of the day, but unfortunately, I can't hold any of the friggin' weapons on a live stream because of stupid YouTube rules. We're going to cover the Bitcoin chart. Did I mention the fragrance of the day? We're also going to review some of the things we had covered last stream, which were some of the Elliott wave cycles that did occur on Solana. And I do have a little bit of alpha for you guys on some of the things that are going on with the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Note, I did cite them on DGen Roundtable earlier today. I think they were having a stream like around, I think it was 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I came on and I told them about the alpha that I had. And I'm going to share it with you guys because I want you guys to freaking make it. Of course, this is a scratcher bet. And we're going to take advantage of that as everything comes. Now, with that mentioned, if you're noticing that my voice is a little bit lower, it's because currently my family's visiting. My parents are a little bit older, so I'm not trying to be as loud as I usually am, if anything. But nevertheless, I'll still keep the charisma up for you cats because I'm all about you guys being entertained. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and give a freaking round of applause for my homie, freaking Tex-Mex, get Basa Boogie. This is the first guy that came on the chat, and he went ahead and he commented, and he is currently working right now. I'm telling you guys, man, this guy is probably the hardest working trucker I know. Probably the hardest working trucker in America. And then we got none other than freaking Chaotic TBG. I remember you, fool, calling me Crypto Booger and shit. Dude, I had no idea, man, you were subscribed to my channel. Maybe because you changed your freaking thumbnail. That's probably why I didn't freaking recognize you. And then we got my other amigo here, Smooth Brain. Merry Christmas, fellow monkeys. Merry Christmas indeed. Merry Christmas indeed. Now, here in Texas, the badass thing, dude, is that we get to pop fireworks here. We got those liberties. I remember one time I went to go visit Alaska. And in Alaska, I think you had to have a freaking license to pop fireworks. But I understand that because I had read somewhere that pine trees were actually pretty damn flammable, and Alaska's got a shitload of them. So I can see why they had the regulations. But I mean, you can make the same argument about Texas. We're always going through droughts on here, and nevertheless, we're still popping fireworks like it's cool, man. So if you guys do have the liberty to do that, go ahead and pop your fireworks. You know what I'm saying, dude, enjoy that shit. That was one of the best old things I did back in the day, back in the early 80s and the freaking 90s and shit. Would always pop fireworks with the family, man. So yeah, dude, I especially love them Roman candles. Me and my little brother, we go through these freaking Roman candle wars. I'm sure you guys have done that shit where you chase each other and fucking shoot fireballs. That shit was so freaking dope, man. Fucking nostalgia, son. So, let's cover the memes. I got some funny ass memes here for you guys tonight, and I wish Twinkie was here to see this shit, man, because these memes are in Korean. These memes are in Korean. So let's go ahead and share the first meme for you guys. See what we got going here. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. This shit's fucking hilarious, dude. This shit is so funny, man. So I'm hoping you guys can see that. Let's go ahead and play this sucker.
Please give me cock. Cock. It's cock. It's in English. I still remember the first time I went to America. I was at the airplane. I asked flight attendants that, can I get a cola? And she asked me, excuse me? I keep saying, cola, cola, cola. But it was not cola. It was cock. It was cock. It's cock, actually, right? So maybe a few Korean people could understand if you just say cock. But most people cannot understand. Do you have cock? Remember cock? It's not cock in Korean. What's cock? So do you have? What do you have? Good. So cock. And they said yes. What's yes? Simple. Please give me cock. Oh, please give me Coke. I want a Coke. Please give me Coke. Coke? And ask them the price of Coke. How much is this? How much is this? What's this? Then, when you leave after buying something, you always say, thank you. Please.
Dude, I laughed my ass so hard when I when I saw that video. I was like, I have to share it with you guys, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. And mind you, I've been to Korea. I've lived in Korea, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Well, sorry. I'm trying to catch my breath, guys. That was too freaking funny, man. That was too funny, dude. Well, I used to live in Korea, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So when I first talked to my Marine Corps recruiter and I was joining the Marine Corps, the motherfucker lied to me, man. He told me, yeah, bro, you'll get to see all of fucking Europe and all this other shit. Bull fucking shit, man. I ended up all over Asia, which is cool, man. I mean, that's fine. He lied to me, dude. Fucking, but I ended up in Asia and the Pacific. So I was stationed out in Hawaii, and I mean, I wasn't really into freaking Asian chicks, man. I really wasn't into dating Asian chicks, but dude, Hawaii has some beautiful ladies, dude. And then we went to Japan. I was stationed in Okinawa, and then we went to Tokyo, and I went to mainland Japan, bro, and I went to Korea and Australia and all these other places in the Pacific, dude. And I had some good times there, dude. So yeah, I've dated a lot of Asian girls, man. But that video was too freaking funny for you cats, man. It's too freaking funny. Hopefully that shit doesn't get me freaking banned, bro. She was trying to say Coke. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I've got homies that are from Illinois and Chicago, and they say pop. You know what I'm saying? If that would have solved the solution. She didn't want to say cola, so she could have said pop instead of cock. All right, man. We are going to cover the fragrance of the day later on tonight, cats. We're going to cover Solana. Let's go into Bitcoin. Let's go see what BTC is doing. And we're also going to compare Ethereum versus Solana to see how that's doing. So here we go. Here we go. Let's go off with the first token. And Tex-Mex, you know that I'm going to cover what I talked to you about today earlier, man. We're going to cover that shit, man. So right now we got BTC, Bitcoin. Current value of Bitcoin is about 43,130. What am I noticing on BTC, dude? Could we start coming to the downside? Because you do see a little bit of a double top, but it's a little bit flatlined here. Let me check, man. If we pull this freaking the support chart here, the support line here, all the way up here, we still have that area of support. And we've got this area of support. So our next area where we could come down to is possibly here at 43,127. I don't think we're going to go below freaking 40,000 again because it's a psychological level. If we grab the time frame tool, and it's currently at 41 bars where we're at today, and we continue pulling it out around day 50, that'll put us on January 3rd, and I'm assuming we're probably going to continue rallying to the upside. If we do come down here, it'll be down here at this area at about 41,000, and then it would not surprise me if we follow this trend line all the way up over here to about 49,000, give or take. If it does continue with the trend line, and it probably will. This has been acting as a strong area of support, if anything. And what does this create? Of course, we'd have to make contact with both sides of the triangle. This would be an ascending triangle. Let's pull up our EMA ribbon. And what do you guys have right there? We have a shitload of support to the downside, man. Next area of support down here is at about 42,378. I have not checked the MACD on this. Let's see what the MACD entails. Let's see if we've got the red line crossing the blue line. Let me see. Let's see MACD. Moving average, convergence, divergence, and what do we have? We're actually kind of bearish right now, and I'm assuming because it's coming to the downside, but this will probably end up reversing and we'll continue rallying up, if anything. That's what I think will end up happening. Let's see if we find any patterns on the weekly. What do we see on the weekly here? Let's go ahead and pull this out this way. I know it looks really convoluted because, dude, I've got a lot of data on this shit. What do we have here? One, no. So this could be the beginning on the weekly of the first portion of an Elliott wave, but I mean, we would need more data to confirm that. I do notice that over here at about 48,263, we do have an area of resistance. And if I, let me see. Yeah, and I've already cited that. That's the next area of resistance, if anything, and that's what we do need to compromise. I expect nothing but bullish news for BTC to entail over the weeks, over the couple of weeks that we're approaching the doggone Bitcoin ETF. Mind you, currently we are on the 24th, so tomorrow will be the 25th. So we will be approximately almost 15 days away from getting the first ETF approved, and that's when we'll probably cross this fucking 60-day mark, if anything. Again, you guys have heard me say this before. On the 10th would take us to 57 bars. I think we'll end up pushing all the way to about 65 bars, which would take us all the way to January 18th, or 70 bars. And that would push us all the way to January 23rd. That's when we'll finally dip a little bit, get a little bit of a cool down as Bitcoin starts rallying extremely hard. Now, I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about how Ethereum's doing. But what else am I noticing on BTC? If we put up these Bollinger Bands, the next area of resistance that we do have to the upside on the Bollinger Bands, which these don't really mean much, is at about 44,754. The red zone would be 45,662, and then the white zone would be at about 46,648. Of course, this will probably end up freaking opening up a little bit more so Bitcoin can end up rallying harder. Now, we've been hearing a lot of people complain about how Ethereum's performing, and I do have a belief as to why that's occurring, and that's none other than what's going on with Solana right now. I've been hearing a lot of cats, including Cryptos Are Us and BitBoy Crypto, saying that a lot of the Solana guys, what they're doing is they're dumping their ETH so it doesn't rally. And of course, I don't think the dumpage is that strong because we're still at $2,200, $2,274. They've been dumping their ETH for Solana, and they're doing it so all the normies do the same shit, and they end up freaking getting more Solana, and it ends up pumping the whale's bags. I do think that once Solana gets overheated, extremely overheated, you're probably going to see a reversal in that, where they're going to dump some of that Solana and put it back into Ethereum. So is Ethereum a good time to buy right now? I would say yes, for the reason being that if you don't have any Ethereum right now, would Ethereum be a good buy? I would say yes. I like buying under 2,200 myself. Will we see 2,200 again? I do think we can. Yes. Let me go ahead and grab this trend line, pull this down this way, and we do have this area of resistance. This creates ballpark. Let me draw it off for you cats because I know it's really convoluted in here. And if I pull this way, we do have a descending triangle. And we have made contact with both sides, and it does seem like we're coming back down. Of course, the next area of support that we do have is at about 2154. So that will be a little bit of a buying opportunity for you guys trying to get it under $2,200. But if you don't have any Ethereum, please go ahead and get some now. And I'm not saying buy a whole Ethereum. Remember the DCA. If you've got $2,000 to spend, do about $300 right now, not financial advice, or $500 right now. And as it comes down, then you'll end up buying some more, because if this does not end up playing out, my technical analysis, which is not 100% perfect, then at least you got your bags a little bit full before we start rallying to the upside. Again, the area of support that we do have next on the list is 2148. If we activate our EMA ribbon, it's showing us that 2237 is in the cards immediately, but it can stretch down into the middle area here, about 2196. Now, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the details of what I mean. Now, anytime these EMA ribbons end up opening up, you do see bigger bounces on Ethereum. Hence why it comes up, then it comes down. And when it comes down, it breaks and it pierces into the into the EMA ribbon. So I'm expecting the same. We should at least come down here to about 2184 or possibly 2208. Those are great buying opportunities. Ethereum under $2,200 is fabulous. I remember last bull run, there was a time that I bought Ethereum I bought a whole Ethereum at about $3,200. And I remember it was dipping. I didn't understand technical analysis back then. And I told my homie, dude, it's at 28, bro. Buy some. And he went ahead and bought some. And he ended up selling about $1,000 worth at about when Ethereum got to $4,000. So as stated, I bought before at $3,100. So I think Ethereum's going to do a lot better than what it did last freaking bull run, for the reason being that Ethereum right now is kind of currently deflationary, because of the recent upgrade they did. I think it was the merge. Was it the merge that they did? Or was it the sharding? One of those two. And the inflation rate of Ethereum went from 3.69% to 0.69%. So a lot of people are overlooking this coin. And I think that right now would be a good time to buy at least a lot. It's a better buying opportunity in Solana, in my opinion, at the current time being. Now, I did activate the 50 moving average, 100 and the 200, and all three are below it. So let's see how it's doing over here on the 4-hour chart. Let me turn these suckers off. And it's currently piercing into the EMA ribbon, and the EMA ribbon is kind of opening up. So I'm expecting us to bounce up eventually throughout the weeks as we approach, especially the Bitcoin halving. It would not the Bitcoin halving. I'm talking about the ETF that's inbound. So this is not a bad token to get, guys, or a bad coin to get. If anything, Ethereum is one of the OGs, and I think it's going to do very good this coming bull run. Not to shit on Solana or anything like that. I do think Solana is going to do well, but I would not be buying it right now because it's a little bit too overheated, in my opinion. So let's see what the chats are saying. And we got Mr. Ascending Man. Hey, bro, thanks for letting me on your stream, homie. When I become a millionaire, I'll just say blame it on the boogie. Hey, man, go for it, homie. Go for it, dude. And then we got my other amigo, Zenith. Feliz Navidad. Hey, you too, man. And then Merry Christmas, fellow boogers. Hey, Merry Christmas, mechanic. Merry Christmas, homie. And let's check out how Solana's doing, and then we'll hit up the fragrance of the day, cats. Let's see how the freaking Solana is doing. Let me take this sucker off here. Present, share screen. You know what? I can show you guys a little bit of gun porn. Or gun corn, I'm sorry, as I stated. A little bit of gun corn would never go wrong. So let me show you cats a little bit of gun corn. Let's see if I got it here. Yes, I do. Let me share this with you cats. That way we're not all bored here and shit. So I shared this on my Instagram, and I'm sharing this now also on my Twitter. This is none other than a CZP-10C. This is a very, very good handgun. It's probably the best buy out of the box. I remember I got one for about $560, and it's currently running the 6-hour mod X9 suppressor. Now, if you notice these indentations here, or these cylindrical devices on top of each other, stacked on top of each other, you could actually remove these and make that suppressor shorter. So it is a pretty cool suppressor for you guys that are trying to freaking keep things light, or if you're trying to freaking keep a gun in a holster that permits you to have a freaking suppressor on there. This is always a great option. CZP-10C is a damn good weapon. The trigger pull on this sucker is amazing and beautiful. Now, if you guys notice the rough patterns here on the texture and the grip of the pistol, you'll notice that, you'll notice if you grab this pistol that it's very aggressive on your hands, which is one of the things I love when I'm running a handgun. Because when you punch out, let's say you're bloody, you're sweaty, or you're wet, or it's raining or something of that nature, and you have to discharge your weapon, it will not slip out of your hands. I like it to a point to where it actually hurts my hands a little bit when I'm holding on to that sandpaper type freaking grip. So this is a very good pistol. I do think they sell it in other options like an OD Green and Flat Dark Earth. I don't know if they're making them two-tone anymore, but this is one hell of a weapon to have. And then we got Office for Men. I'm going to show you guys that later on tonight, guys. Later on tonight. So that's a little bit of gun corn for you cats. You know what I'm saying? So let's go over to the Solana chart. Now, Sol's current value is at about $111. That's where its current value is at. I had cited last time on stream because I did identify this Elliott wave that we were breaking to the upside. And I did notice that I was expecting for us to stop here at about $90 or $93, but of course we rallied past that. So I went ahead and I adjusted this Elliott wave, and I'm expecting maximum amount that we're probably going to go to is $121.89, unless the whales in Solana right now continue shilling it to a lot of the people dumping their Ethereum for Sol. So once it gets down here, for you cats that are holding Sol, I would sell a small, tiny portion of my bag at $121, and I would expect it to come down here to about $65, and if not, to a possibly 94. Then it'll end up rallying again and coming back down. Now, this is the ABC wave. You usually find these at the end of an Elliott wave, and an Elliott wave usually runs 5 patterns here, from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and the 3 is usually the largest, to 4 to 5. Now, do I think it's going to go past $121? I don't think so, for the reason being that in Elliott waves, wave 4 to 5 are never really bigger than 2 to 3. So know what I mean? So if it does end up going past $121 and we go up to here to 143, then it would end up breaking the term, not the terms, but the rules of the Elliott waves, and it will not likely follow an ABC pattern. But if it doesn't overheat now, or it doesn't overheat at 121, that's when we'll start playing the ABC pattern. Currently, what day are we on Solana's 20-day cycle? Solana's 20-day cycle, we're at about day 10. So we still got some more time to bottom out, and that could be anywhere from day 13, which would be December 26th, all the way to about January 3rd, give or take, before we start bottoming out again, because we are slightly getting overheated. Let's see how it's doing on the Bollinger Bands. And as you guys can tell, we still haven't completely pierced this red portion of the Bollinger Band, an attempt to touch the white portion, because once we touch the white portion, it's very aggressive when we come to the downside. And let me try to find you an example. For example, over here, what do you guys see? This candle right here ended up touching or made contact with the white portion of the Bollinger Band, and I'm talking about just the wick. And what ended up happening, the next candle turned out to be red or bearish, if anything. So that's what I entail with Solana. That's what I think is going to end up happening with Solana, and only time will tell. I did sell some of my bags already on Solana in order to repothecate. I like Sol, but I went ahead and I sold some for some fame, because I am bullish on that project. And I did end up buying myself a little bit more fame, and I've got a decent bag on that, and I just wanted to grow it a little bit more. We're not going to be covering fame today, unfortunately, but we are going to cover another token tonight related to the Pulse Chain ecosystem for you cats. You know what I'm saying? So now you guys saw that we have the fragrance of the day, and of course, this fragrance is not a cheap one, for the reason being that Jeremy Fragrance, if you guys don't know who he is, type in that name on YouTube. His name's Jeremy Fragrance. He's probably the #1 dude on YouTube that shills freaking fragrances and gives you his honest reviews on them. The guy's pretty down to earth. He's a humble cat, and I think his content is worth reviewing. I know Kevin Samuels is a big fan of Jeremy Fragrance, and he's gotten a lot of hate as well, for the reason being that he's #1. And when you're #1, everybody hates you, man. It's like Floyd Mayweather was hated because he was #1 for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And his fragrance is none other than Office for Men. Now, this has got like how would I explain this, man? It's got like a floral aspect to it, man, but it's mostly very lemony. I do like this. It lasts a long ass time. It lasts on my skin for about 5 to 6 hours on average. Sillage, how far does it emit from your body? If you do about 5 sprays, I would say about 2 to 3 feet. If you do about 5 sprays, of course, don't do 5 sprays if you're gonna freaking board an airplane or hop in a car with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or if you are gonna hop in a car with somebody, make sure you take that shit freaking a couple, like maybe 30 minutes prior. You put it on 30 minutes prior. Now, some of the places I like to apply fragrance is behind the ears, behind my back, and then I like applying it on my wrist because I do talk a lot with my hands, so that emits a lot of the freaking fragrance. What do I rate this fragrance from a scale of 1 to 10? This is hands down, bro, a daytime fragrance. You can use it at night. It's a very professional fragrance, as it states office. I give the sucker a 10, man. This fragrance is off the chain, bro. Now, what are some of the setbacks about this fragrance? Is that it's freaking expensive, dude. You're gonna pay close to about $200. I actually bought this sucker used on a Facebook freaking fragrance group, and I got it for about 150. But this fragrance is freaking amazing, dude. It is hands down amazing. Now, this is the new formulation, the one that I just showed you. This is the older formulation on one of his first releases. This is before he ended up releasing this bottle. Now, this is the very first formulation, and as you guys can see, I got his autograph on there from Jeremy Fragrance, dude. And it's got this like cheap ass cap, and these smell pretty similar. The opening on this is a lot stronger, but then in the dry down or 30 minutes in, they pretty much just smell the same, man. How do you guys get this? I would advise you go over to a Facebook page and join Fragrance Marketplace on Facebook and ask for this sucker, man. You'll get it at a good price too, and they won't price gouge you too much, or else the rest of the community will eat them alive. Or you can go over to fragrance.one and buy it off there. These are great fragrances, man, and I highly recommend it for you cats, man. This is hands down a freaking banger. Is it a nighttime fragrance? Not so much, but you can still pull it off, man. And if you guys noticed on that picture that I showed with the CZP10C, it is a very professional fragrance. It's something that can probably go in competition with the Agua de Gio Profumo, if anything. You know what I'm saying? So let's cover the freaking chat. We got Ascending, man. So we, the DGen Roundtable, have decided that Bitcoin will be 69,420 at the end of the 2024 year. What do you think? 69. That is a possibility, man. I think that's a little bit too bullish for my taste, if anything. I'm not saying no. Let me go ahead and re-review the Bitcoin chart. Can I see it going over, unless we get a solid-ass Santa rally tomorrow? Can I see us going all the way to 69? Let's activate the Bollinger Bands on this sucker. I would say no, man, because I think once we touch this white portion of the Bollinger Band, I think we would probably shrink back down. If this does open up a little bit more, maybe max amount I would see that I can feel in my gut here at about 52,500 or 52,000 or 50,000. 50,000 to 52,250, because those are psychological levels, in my opinion. That's the way I view that, Ascending, man. But I'm hoping you're right, bro. I'm hoping you're right, because that is extremely bullish if it does end up occurring. You know what I'm saying? Now, we also got my homie here, Large and in charge. Hey, what's up? What's up, Large? ¿Qué pasa, amigo? Jack and shit, son. Jack and shit, vato. Now, let's go ahead and get into some of the Pulse Chain alpha. Let's hit up Pulse Chain a little bit. Once we're done with Pulse Chain, I do want to definitely hit up the token that I was going to tell you guys about. And Tex-Mex, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go over here to freaking Pulse Chain. And then after this token, we'll go ahead and cover the other token I was talking about. Now, I am noticing, which is pretty cool, man, that Pulse Chain is gradually rising to the upside, man, little by little, bro. We grab this freaking trend line and we pull this here, dude. It is riding the trend line in an upward fashion. Next area of resistance we could end up meeting currently is about here, man, and we're almost very close to it, which is 6548. If we do end up compromising that, the next area we are going to have to beat is here at about 6968. So let me go and pull this all the way over here. And those would be two areas that we do need to compromise on Pulse Chain. Hopefully we do, man. Hopefully we do. So we pull this sucker over here. Those are the areas we got to beat. Can it happen? Absolutely. especially if we do end up getting that rally that freaking the ascending man Nate was talking about. That would be dope. And currently, what did I notice down here? What do you guys notice over here with this candle and this candle? We've got a little bit of a double bottom occurring here, man. Look at that shit. Now, what does a double bottom entail? A double bottom usually entails the opposite of a double top. What do we have here? We do have a double top, and we ended up coming to the downside, bro. So we pumped up over here on October 23rd, came back down, came back up over here on, I'm sorry, October the 2nd, came down, we came back up here on October 7th, and then we ended up breaking to the downside. And I am picking up on this double bottom, which looks like kind of like a W pattern. If you guys can't see it, let me go ahead and emphasize it with a freaking drawing of a marker here. Where the hell is my marker? You see that shit? So that entails, let me go ahead and remove this sucker. That probably explains why we're rallying to the upside, because we've already double bottomed on this sucker. So, hey, man. Pulse chain's probably going to end up doing very, very well. Let's see how it's doing on its 20-day cycles. Dude, wow. This shit is a total anomaly, dog. I would say, but dude, I think right now we're kind of like in an anomaly phase. And I apologize, guys, for being so damn quiet. It's just that my parents are here and they're sleeping, bro. They're visiting me for the holidays, so I don't want to be rude to them. On the 20-day cycle, man, I think that we're going to need to let this play out by itself, bro, before we ascertain this. I'm going to go ahead and discount the 20-day cycle right now, because right now we're in a total anomaly phase. Unless we grab this freaking tool right here and we pull it over here, we would be on day 13, if that's what it entails. You know what I'm saying? But I'm counting this bottom over here as day 15, so that would invalidate this one. So let's see if this one plays out, and we'll leave it on the charts to see if that ends up working out. So if we go by this time measurement movement, we could start bottoming out anywhere from December 26th all the way to about January 2nd. And I'm hoping it's all the way to January 2nd, because by that time we would have probably compromised this area. Now, you cats have heard me say this multiple times. Again, this is the goal that I want to compromise, which is at about here at about 4 zeros and an 857. And if we activate our moving averages, what do we have here? On the 200-day moving average, we are expecting some resistance at about 4 zeros and a 6.4. So we're coming right up on here, and hopefully we end up beating this 200-day moving average. We are using the 50-day moving average as a support, and the 10-day moving average is way, way down here. So Pulse Chain's looking pretty bullish. I'm hoping that people continue freaking aping into this shit, because it is one of my favorite projects. Let's look at the chats, see what the chats are saying. Haha, mom and dad walk in on your live stream with a mask on. That would be so freaking funny, bro, with the Mexican hat. That would be dope, bro. You hear like fucking cucaracha music in the background, and you see my parents come into the stream. That would be so freaking dope, bro. Dude, thank you for the idea sending, man. I'm gonna do that one of these days, bro. That's hilarious, dude. That is so hilarious. So, shit. Bear with me, cats. I want to prep something for you guys. There you go. I got it going. Now, I wanted to show you guys this. Let me see. Pull this up a little bit. And this is a little bit of a scratcher bet. And I was talking about this on the DGen Roundtable for you guys that weren't listening in. And that is, let's look at GoPulse.com. These are the charts as to the type of animal or sea animal you can become depending on how many tokens you hold. So if we look at the squids on Pulse Chain, you would need approximately 1.36 billion Pulse Chain. Turtles, you would need about 136 million, and crabs would be about 14 million. On PulseX, which I'm extremely bullish on, which I think a lot of people are freaking ignoring, to be a a dolphin, you would need 14 billion. To become a squid, you need 1.43 billion. To become a turtle, you would need 143 million. To become a crab, you'd need about 14 million. And it entails how much the value is. So $242 would make you crab. $2,420 would make you a turtle. Now, if we come over here to hex, I don't know if this really, I'd have to look at the charts, man. I think this applies maybe to p hex. So squids, you'd need about $66,000 with 6.5 million. Turtles would need about 652K. Now, the token that I wanted to talk about, which is the first time I've ever bought this token, is none other than incentive token. And currently, at the time being, believe it or not, man, to become a squid on incentive token, which is a good scratcher bet, is $114. That will give you 195 tokens. So let's go look at the incentive chart. Let's see what the incentive chart entails. And here we have the ink token, and its current value is at about 58 cents. So what am I noticing about this? Currently, the incentive token on it does seem that we have bottomed on incentive. If you guys notice all this shit right here, it does seem that we have bottomed, and the lowest portion we got to was at about 39 cents. That was on a wick, but on a candle, the lowest we've gotten to is 42 cents. Now, I'm expecting for us to start going down again. Why? Because we're currently on day 13 of the cycle. If this follows cycles on the regular, which I'm assuming it probably will, and we start approaching day 20, that would be around January 1st. So what I'm hoping for is that we end up double bottoming and then coming back up. What I am noticing right now, let me go and erase this shit. What I am noticing right now is that we got a little bit of an elongated bull flag going, or bear flag. I'm sorry. So we grab this, push this up this way, and this looks a little bit like a bear flag, and it does seem like we may end up coming back down, which would then make this into a W pattern. And if it evens out, that turns out to be a freaking double bottom before we end up rallying to the upside. So food for thought, cats. The guys at DGen Roundtable, of course, they did cite the fact that this is more of a scratcher bet, and I agree with them. This is a scratcher bet, but I did notice something on Jade, and it goes on Jewel token, which goes back to Hart's Law. Whenever a certain token pumps in an ecosystem, associated tokens pump with it. And I remember Jewel ended up freaking rallying pretty hard as of recent, and so did Jade. If you cats know anything about the Jade token on DeFi Kingdoms, it is a completely deflationary token. I'm sorry, inflationary token. So it's of no use but to go ahead and dump. And what ended up happening? It ended up pumping. I have heard Miguel say that he did want to get into this token if we ever broke below $1. So is this a scratcher bet? Yes. How would I play this out? This is not financial advice. I would do the exact amount as stated here. I'm going to share that screen with you guys one more time. I would end up putting in about $114, getting my $195 tokens. It's $114 for you guys that have leftover money and stuff like that, you middle class people. And then I would wait to see if it double bottoms the way I showed you guys on the chart. Where the hell did I put it at? Incentive. If it ends up double bottoming, I'll use another $113 or $115 to buy the other half of it. So just in case if it ends up playing out the way I'm expecting it to play out. So the best way to do this is probably to buy DAI, bridge it over in full amount of about $240, buy a little bit right now, which is half of the supply of 240, and then wait till it bottoms again. If it ends up bottoming again, and if not, you've got freaking tokens ready to go, ready to buy, and maybe you can ape it into PulseX on some of the Richard Hart tokens, if anything. It's a little bit of a scratcher bet, but nevertheless, if it goes back up to $1, hey, you guys have made some gains, at least a 2x, if anything. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of alpha I wanted to drop on you cats, which I think is pretty damn cool. What else do we have here, man? I also wanted to show you guys none other than one of my favorite tokens, and that is Phantom. After I show you this token, we can call it a night, guys, unless you guys got some questions. And currently, the value of Phantom is exactly at 52 cents. Let's see how it's doing on the Bollinger Bands. Phantom does still have room to run. I do think that 54 cents will probably be a good spot of resistance to it, but let's see how it's doing on its 20-day cycles. We're currently at about day 14, so it may be possibly today all the way to about January 1st when we start dipping back down. Would I buy Phantom right now? I wouldn't. I think it's a little bit too overheated for my taste at the time being. I would wait till we cross back down here into the 40 cents threshold, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, can Phantom freaking do a freaking giga rally all the way up over here to 87 cents? Yeah, it can. If some weird shit happens, possibly, yes. I mean, a lot of people are very bullish on this token, and that can happen, but the likelihood, I would say no. I mean, it does follow with 20-day cycles pretty damn consistent, if anything. So I would wait a little bit, maybe possibly start DCAing here at about, because I've got these two candles right here. I'd possibly start DCAing at about 43 cents. Let's see if we see any patterns on the weekly. Let's see, what do we see on the weekly, man? Fucking convoluted ass chart, man. What am I noticing here, man? Nothing special. I'm not picking up on anything. Next area we do need to compromise is here at about 66 cents. I'm not picking up any patterns, not noticing any patterns, if anything. I'm saying, at least not on the weekly. Let's see how it's doing with its EMA ribbon. EMA ribbon, we do have the 200 EMA as an area of support here at about 40 cents. Let's see how it's doing on the daily with the EMA ribbon. And the next area of support we have here on the daily is at about 43 cents as well. So if we turn this back on, it's almost in the same area I said at about 40 cents. So a good DC, and I mentioned 44 would be a good area to buy. And that's close to the area that I had mentioned earlier. And then that pretty much covers it, cats. Unless you guys got any questions, man. Well, I'll see if I can hit you guys up tomorrow, una vez más, to see how we do on Monday, on Christmas Day. Hopefully we get a Christmas rally, if anything. You guys enjoy your time with your families. Don't eat too much. Everybody tends to get fat around the holidays, man. Enjoy your time with your kids. And you know what I'm saying? Hope you guys have a good freaking Christmas. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.